Hello there, Lynx here, and this is Crystalline. That's right, we of course continue this game, because why wouldn't it be done like that? I enjoy myself a lot with that. Hope you enjoy it as well. And if you're a new one to the channel, subscribe after you're done with the video. That would be very much appreciated, because we are going after 2000. But now let's jump to the game. Zach and I awaken it down and suddenly go about preparing for the day. As I grab a few items of my bed, I look over at Zach, who is fiddling with his gun. That guy sure gives his discharger a lot of attention. Suspicious. Morning. He glances up and nods.
I'm heading down. Meet me there when you're ready.
Sure. Zach shoulders his pack and leaves. This is probably the quietest morning I've had so far. It's a little strange. I pack up the last of my things and follow Zach downstairs, where I find him waiting alone. Leanna and Amelia. He shrugs.
Still getting ready, I guess.
Okay. That's unusual. Leanna is generally the first one up. We wait a couple of more minutes before the girls finally show up, carrying the pango with them. Amelia smiles widely at the pango, who grins back. Those two seem to be in a good mood. Leanna, on the other hand, looks exhausted. Anyone else interested? What did I do to my pango? Okay, I'm curious, but good morning. Leanna smiles.
Morning.
The pango wobbles in Amelia's arms as she nods her greeting.
We should move on so we don't lose any daylight. Zach looks over at Amelia, who rummages through her bag. Eventually she pulls out a map. I glance at the carefully detailed mountains and rivers. Suddenly I'm missing my GPS.
We will proceed eastward through the forest adjacent to Bazada. From there, we will travel northbound towards the Sonoa Mountains.
Her fingers scroll across the different locations.
Assuming there are no divergences in the course, we should arrive in Ember Mist by midday. Any inquiries?
Amelia folds the map and glances at the rest of us. We all look at each other.
Then let us begin our journey.
Well, I have a certain question. But I guess it's not about the journey, so it doesn't matter. She leads the way out of the inn and through the streets of Bazada. Even this early in the morning, the marketplace is still bustling with people. You know what? I'm actually not surprised about that. Especially during the weekends, the marketplaces over here would bustle with life. At least back in the day. Now it might be a bit different. But, yeah. Speaking of which, I haven't been to one in a while. Carefully traversing the streets and alleys, the crowd begins to thin as we reach the city borders. Amelia consults her map and then continues out of the city. And so do we, of course. Without the high cover of the souls, I blink at the clear blue sky. In the distance, I can see the dark, leafy cover of trees. That must be where we are going? Probably. Maybe. Once we reach the forest, I'm surprised by how much shade the leaves provide. The branches are strong and the leaves are thick, exposing pockets of sunshine. Amelia keeps the map on hand as there are no trails. Aside from a few other stragglers exploring the woods, I can hear the scurry of woodland animals. With so much cover and so few people, this would be the perfect opportunity for a bandit to ambush. I look towards Zack and Leanna, who both seem unconcerned. I suppose it would make sense for bandits to hide out in a forest which is mostly devoid of people. We aren't carrying any cargo either, so there is even less of a reason to attack us. The deeper we travel into the woods, the thicker the canopy of leaves become, nearly blocking out all the sunlight. All the other people have long gone, and even the rustle of bushes have become quiet. That sounded like Pango is scared? The Pango nestles even deeper into Amelia's arms. What? Leanna shivers and wraps her arms around herself in a hug. I mean, I could do that. Save the game, of course. We are going to... Wait, not this one. We are back to page 1. Let's check on her, I guess. I mean, we can always ask, right? You okay? She seems startled and drops her arms, trying to act normal.
I'm fine.
If you say so. I know exactly what I'm fine means in Earth English. That's she seems startled and drops her arms. Shivers. Let's say the second one. Where I come from, when a girl uses those two words together, it means she is not fine. Leanna blinks, then lets out a small sigh.
It's nothing really. It's just that the woods are getting darker and darker, and there's a lot more shadows.
Hmm. Are you afraid of the dark? Leanna shakes her head.
Nothing like that. But really, you don't have to be concerned. It's nothing.
Uh-huh. I'm still not convinced, but I'll trust her. Okay. The forest continues to block out even more light. Soon it becomes so dark we can barely see what's in front of us. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Are you sure we're going the right way?
Trigger some fire magic for us. Torch girl. Amelia pulls the torch out her back in response. She touches her fingers to the tip of the torch and her bracelet glows. Then the torch erupts into flames.
Indeed, there is no need for alarm. The darkness merely indicates we're about to enter the Forest of Sorrows.
Well, this forest already looks quite sorrowful.
Forest of Sorrows?
I'm surprised by Leanna's outburst. Her face is deathly pale.
Do we have to go through here? There must be an alternate route.
Amelia shakes her head.
Ember Mist can only be accessed through these woods.
That's quite problematic, perhaps? Leanna groans.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
So this is what's bothering her. What's up with the Forest of Sorrows? I mean, it sounds spooky enough, but is it really that bad?
It is rumored that those who venture into the Forest of Sorrows never come out.
They never come out. She nods.
The reason people are unable to escape is because they hear the voices of the loved ones they have lost. They fruitlessly search for their loved ones, losing their way, chasing the wailing of the spectrals.
Uh-huh.
No! Amelia, stop! We can travel through this stupid place if we have to, but no more of this story stuff that isn't true and can't be true, so it's not true.
Sounds like someone believes in that.
Although Leanna tries to put on a brave front, her voice grows shriller the longer she talks. Right. Amelia nods.
Then let us continue.
I turn to Zach.
Do you think all that stuff about the Forest of Sorrows is possible?
It doesn't matter if I think it's possible, because it's the truth.
Zach! Stop!
As Leanna turns away, Zach cracks a fleeting smile before resuming his stony stare. The trees have now lost their cozy feel, you don't say, and look thick, old and withered. Also, on the right side. Fuck. I don't have the mouse enabled. Okay, let's say where the river goes. I think this is a river of sorts, right? So it starts in the middle and flows a little bit, right? And it kind of cuts off the. We don't see it kind of behind like that one of the trees, right? So 1, 2. Let's say from the river 1, 2, 3. When we have those 3 kind of visible trees, like well visible, there seems to be like a tombstone, I would say. So it's probably like a little part of the tree that's been cut off, or that just fell because it's been so old or something. Anyway. The eerie silence is deafening, and each crunch of leaves beneath our feet reminds me of the inevitability of death and decay. I keep seeing flashes of beady eyes peering amid the branches. The squawk of crows pierces the silence, making me jump. God, I hate the crows. Kind of. Instinctively, I pick up the pace. So does everyone else. Leanna grows increasingly agitated.
Are you sure we're going the right way? I swear that I've seen that.
A cold gust of wind extinguishes the torch, which is definitely problematic. Oh. Leanna latches onto my arm and pulls it close to her chest. Her eyes are squeezed shut and she buries her face against me. The light returns as Amelia relights the torch. Where's the torch fall? Leanna peeps and I open and glances down at my arm. And where it rests on her chest. Her cheeks burn as good as the torch and she quickly drops my arm.
Sorry,
She trails off as her blush deepens. I bet her nerves from the forest and the awkwardness of grabbing me is making her flustered. She might be more comfortable holding on to me, but that's an equally awkward suggestion. Ask if she wants to grab my arm, pull her in close, whatever she... Let's go, let's just move on. Is it a time to be bold? She let go, let's just... Wait, did she let go? I kind of... Oh, she quickly drops my arm. Okay. Ask if she wants to grab my arm. That sound kind of okay, I guess. But maybe we could say... pull her in close like that. Maybe we could pretend that we are afraid. Or we should go... I feel like the last option over here is out of the question. Number 1 or number 2? Option 1 or option 2? I feel like if we ask, she might be like, no, I'm alright.
Let's go with the second. I saved the game? Did I save the game? Did I save the game? Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. I close the distance between us and link arms with her again. Overall surprise, she doesn't stop me. Instead, she blushes. Again. Amelia watches us and cocks her head to the side.
Are you afraid?
Huh?
You're mimicking Leanna's instinctive reach for your arm. Does that mean you too are feeling afraid?
I'm not scared. I don't need nobody. Nope, it's just Leanna. It's okay. It's normal to feel uneasy at those times. Oh, I think we should go with the last option over here. This is fairly obvious. I mean, she'd probably be kind of ashamed. We could try teasing, but no. It's okay and normal to feel uneasy at times. Let's go with that, yeah. There is nothing wrong with that. Oh, especially in a place like this. Also, there really are like eyes in the background. Amelia nods.
Your rationale is valid.
Hell yeah, it is. Lena squeezes my arm a little tighter, and smiles. That's right. That's how it's done.
Thanks.
I nod with a warm smile. Anytime. Anytime. Zack waits impatiently a few paces ahead of us.
Can we move on?
Affirmative.
We all hurry to catch up with Zack and continue through the forest. No wonder people get lost. This place feels like it's endless. Leanna tightens her grip on my arm whenever there is a noise. A crow flies by and she hides her face on my shoulder. I can feel the warmth rush to my cheeks and I'm grateful for the darkness. I'm so grateful. This is out of character for Leanna. I never would have guessed she gets spooked by ghosts. Gradually the darkness fades away as the trees are illuminated by an ethereal glow. Which might be, I guess a little foreshadowing for the next game, right? Ethereal Enigma. Maybe it's somehow related? I have no idea, okay. I know that, I do have the game for. What did I play from Pixel Fate? I played Ace Academy, I played Kaori, yes. Oh, I did not play Crystalline and Ethereal Enigma, that's true. And apparently there's something scheduled called Astral Ascension for Q4 now. Interesting. Might need to keep my eyes on that. I don't think anyone asked about me playing Ethereal Enigma for, right? Maybe I'm mistaken. I think there was none of that. Okay, as the blue and green light chase away the shadows, my mood begins to lift. The trees still look ancient, but full of wisdom and secrets instead of bad omens. Yeah, I mean, it looks better, that's for sure. Less spooky. Wait, you were here? The Pango squirms wildly in Amelia's arm. He wriggles free and hops around in glee. As he hops, he opens his mouth wide, but loses his balance and blinks as he falls on his head. After a few more confused seconds, he shakes himself and tries again. There must be a lot of magic in here.
We have made it through the Forest of Sorrows.
Yes! Leanna sighs in relief.
Finally.
She blushes and as she lets go of me. I'm
so
like,
Ember Mist is close.
finally! What a shame! Should we go back?
The natural concentration of crystal energy would indicate we are on the correct path.
The crystals must be what the blue and green glow is from.
What do you mean, on the correct path? Haven't you traveled here before?
No, she never said she did. Amelia shakes her head.
No, this is my first journey.
You mean you had us travel through the Forest of Sorrows without knowing for sure that it would lead us to Ember Mist?
That is correct.
She's so good. Leanna gapes at Amelia.
Well, we did make it through. And if we do reach Embermist, then she would have delivered on her promise.
That's true. Zack nods at Amelia, who looks curiously at him. While deep in thought, it looks like she's reworking a previous analysis of him. Then she nods back. Leanna opens mouth to argue, but stops.
I suppose it doesn't matter now that we're almost there.
Hey Leanna, remember there is always a way, you know, a return away. Don't worry, we'll lend you an arm.
On that conclusion, let us continue.
We trail behind Amelia, the Pango blissfully hopping along as she navigates us out of the rest of the forest. Embermist lies just beyond the edge of the forest, and soon we approach the heavy gates of the city. Village? Two tanned men with leather armor and carved wooden staves? Whatever, inlaid with rough crystals stand guard. Their staves are crossed and the light seems to shimmer as it catches the negative space between the staves. Is that some kind of magic?
Please state your business.
As students from the Mage Academy, we seek an audience with Elder Isim.
They look as obedient as Shiva constantly under the gaze. Their blank eyes seem to burrow deep in my soul. Sup? They close their eyes and the red crystals inlaid in their staves glow. The translucent glimmers increase. After a few minutes they reopen their eye and remain silent. I glance at Leanna, who looks back at me. I whisper, "Are they going to let us in?" She shakes her head uncertainly. Zack crosses his arms, but otherwise doesn't seem bothered by the situation. Amelia stands confidently and waits patiently. I'm not sure what that means over here. Like, will they or not? Are they using that to check out if we are lying or not? I guess things are going according to her plan? Question mark? Just when I can no longer bear the silence, a figure steps out from behind the gates. He's an old, squirrely man with a set of glasses which slip down his hooked nose. He wears a faded and wrinkled open robe.
Elder Isim.
Yes? Who is it?
Yes, who is it?
I am Amelia Stout from the Mage Academy, and these are my associates.
The Mage Academy, you say?
Yes, that's what she said, old man. He adjusts the glasses on his nose and peers at Amelia.
Yes. Yes.
Please don't make noises like that. One by one he peers at theirs fast. He barely glances at Zack, but looks at Leanna with interest when he recognizes her guild emblem. Finally his gaze lingers me, almost as if he's trying to place me but can't.
Well, come on in then. No point in standing around.
Of course you can't place me. The guards break away as he beckons us in and the translucent shimmers disappear. After we pass through the gates, I look back right before the gates close and see the guards resume their original position. Elder Isim shuffles along the dirt path and leads us through the quaint village. The villagers tend to wear plain, loose-fitting tunics. Aside from the guards, most people don't carry weapons, although many of them do wear simple bracelets embedded with crystals. I have a bracelet. I actually have kind of 3 of them. They don't have crystals though. We soon arrive at a strangely architecturally stable clay hut. As we enter, I covertly touch the walls. This is nice. It reminds you of the unglazed ceramic tiles. We settle down on white cushions on the floor.
How were you able to find this place?
Through you.
Say what?
Eh?
What do you mean? Amelia pulls out a worn tome. Where has she been keeping that this whole time?
My old research. I thought I'd lost this.
As Elder Isim carefully turns the pages of the tome, Leanna clears her throat.
We were told you can help us.
By whom?
Professor Xavier.
Elder Isim lets out a loud laugh.
Xavier is a professor now. Good for him.
Where's the laughter?
I've been out of touch with Haven Guard and Lumia for many years. I'm not sure how I can help.
Leanna fills him on all that's happened so far, beginning with the spiked energy readings and ending with Professor Xavier's advice. She keeps the story simple and straight to the point, carefully eliminating the fact that I'm not from this world. Why are you not telling them that for? Elder Isim listens thoughtfully, but grows more excited the longer Leanna talks.
The temporal rifts. It's been so long since I really researched them. I'm afraid I've been rather distracted. Still, someone is here hoping to discuss these theories, and I'm more than happy to talk about them.
He claps his hands excitedly.
Where should we start?
Beginning, as always. As I'm about to answer, a deep rumble beneath the earth stops me. What was that?
Oh, just the volcano. Nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about? Are you sure, man? R.I.P. us. Fuck. That's what they said about the Pompeii. What's Pompeii? Oh, okay. She hid the info about us being from other world, kind of, so let's not reveal it so easily. Fine, okay. Elder Isim's demeanor remains relaxed. If something bad were to happen, he wouldn't be acting this way, right? I exchange glances with the rest of my group. Leanna looks perturbed, with Amelie and Zach both staying alert. At least I'm not the only one who's uneasy.
There's no need to look so concerned. The volcano will not erupt. This is the first sign of activity it has shown in thousands of years.
Ha! Then that's a reason to actually be concerned. Isn't that concerning?
Perhaps if it were any other volcano, but this particular volcano is in the domain of the fire elemental who protects us all.
This fire elemental of which you speak, are you referencing the ancients?
Precisely.
Zack crosses his arms.
The ancients are only a story.
Who are the ancients?
They are the elements of Asaria. The magic which we have learned to manipulate are the gifts left behind from the ancients.
That's how the legend goes.
Okay.
You are mistaken. They are not a legend.
Leon looks uncertain while Zack scolds.
You still believe in those stories?
I believe in the research, and Elder Ism has accumulated plenty of it.
Nice.
Then where have the elementals been all this time?
We all return our focus to the Elder.
I suppose I do have a few theories on that as well. But the elements are a lot trickier than temporal rifts. The story of the ancients is so old it predates our understanding of crystals and spheres. That's why most societies have forgotten about them and brushed them off as a legend.
I'm still gonna be honest, this game lacks the possibility to up the voice a bit more. I could go BGM lower, but it will mess things up.
The people in this village, though, have not forgotten. When I arrived, I was purely focused on finding the fire temple for research purposes. But the longer I stayed, the more my focus strayed from the temporal rifts to the ancients themselves. If you believe that the cause of those random energy spikes are the result of temporal rifts, perhaps that is the link to the return of the elementals to Asaria.
So what does that mean exactly? He shakes his head.
It's hard to say. We don't know why they left in the first place. My guess is that something was keeping them occupied in the spirit world. Perhaps whatever that is was set free by the rifts.
Amelia hangs on to Elder Isim's every word. Leanna absent-mindedly fiddles with her manipulator deep in thought. Only Zack seems skeptical of this conversation. This sounds really complicated, not something that can be solved in a few hours. We need to get back on track.
How do I get home? Oh wait, we are actually planning to go home? I thought we are staying with Leanna. Okay, to get back to the original topic on hand. Elder Ice Not.
Ah, the temporal rifts, yes.
How do one go about creating a rift?
Well, that will be difficult. You'll need an incredible amount of energy. More than any one human can create. The only places with that much concentration of energy is in the temples of the elementals.
You said that there was one in this village?
Yes, the fire temple is here in Ember Mist.
Great! My body grows warm and hope flows through my veins. This is good, I finally have a way home.
To be more precise, it's on the outskirts of the village, built on the side of the volcano, but it's not a far walk.
Then that's where we need to go.
Leanna pushes herself to her feet and the rest of us to do the same. As Elder Isim rises, his face falls.
Leaving so soon? I was hoping we'd have a longer chance to chat. I have so many questions about Illumia and the Academy. As you can imagine, one does not get a lot of news of the outside world here.
Oh, perhaps upon the return?
Ah, yes, of course. Well, you best be on your way then.
Elder Isam, it was truly an honor to meet you.
Amelia's cheeks flush as Elder Isim... Wait! She said Isim in the very beginning, right? Now she said it differently, what the hell? She must fully respect him. In that moment I realized just how small and dainty she looks. I sometimes forget how young she is compared to the rest of us. We all say our goodbyes and then exit the hut. Once outside, we scan the horizon, trying to orient ourselves towards the volcano.
Excuse me.
Ooh, hello! I think I like her more. I think she's more my type. But, yes, I did find out, unfortunately, or fortunately, that this game has like one romance, but a few outcomes. Life, I mean, life. You guys and not guys probably knew by now. I whirl around and come face to face with a woman wearing just enough fabric to cover her essentials and nothing more. Her long brown hair is tied up on the ponytail, which falls down her neck and frames her very ample chest. Don't look at her boobs. The plot thickens! Who are you? Before I have a chance to speak, Zach asks the question on everyone's mind.
Who are you?
Zach steps in front of Amelia, who frowns and steps away, I guess. He's taking this bodyguarding business really seriously. Leanna holds herself stiffly, ready to move if necessary. The woman salutes.
Car Noir, treasure hunter extraordinaire.
I like her. Zach narrows his eyes.
What do you want with us?
Well, I couldn't help but overhear that you're interested in the fire temple.
How did you hear us when we were inside?
She taps her nose knowingly.
I have very sensitive hearing.
Of
I
course.
fail to understand how our interests are of relevance to you.
I was just getting to that. You see, I've come to offer an extension of friendship.
Both Leanna and Zach raise an eyebrow.
Or at least an extension of mutual benefit.
Okay.
It's true that the villagers maintain the fire temple, but from what I've discovered, they are unaware of the temple's secret passage.
You've got me interested.
If you're interested in the energy of the temple, I can guarantee that's where you'll find it.
If the villagers don't know about the secret passage, how did you find it?
It's all a part of the treasure hunting gig. You have to be looking for it to find it.
Kara winks and gives us a thumbs up.
The best part is that I've already disarmed or made a note of most of the traps in there.
There are traps in this temple?
temples are a sanctuary for the elementals, but any place that is easily accessible is sure to attract all types. There are measures set in place to protect the spirit from those who wish to harm it.
Like I said, I've disarmed most of the traps, but not all. There is one magical barrier at the end of the tunnel which I've not yet been able to pass. I don't have magic, but you do.
She gestures to Leanna and Amelia.
If you can magic that barrier away, then that's at least one step closer to finding your energy.
Magic it away. How does that sound? Zack crosses his arms and glares at Kara.
How does that benefit you?
She grins.
All I'm interested in are the artifacts and relics. From the sounds of it, you guys are more interested in something else, hence mutually beneficial. So, what do you think?
Wait, are you looking at me with what? I look at the rest of my group. Wordlessly, we huddle close together and whisper.
I don't trust her. There's plenty of reason for her to join. Does it really matter?
I want her in my team. I believe in her, okay? I vote we let her join us.
If she's already marked the passageway and traps, then we can just follow her markings and break the barrier ourselves. I can't think of a reason why we would need to bring her along.
I can think of two. Sneak and glance at Kara's chest and smirk.
I must concede that I am impressed by her resourcefulness. It is plainly evident that she is not a native to Embermist, which means she somehow discerned the location on her own.
That's a really good point.
Leanna looks thoughtful.
As a treasure hunter, her tracking skills could come in handy in the future.
We all stare at Zack. He shrugs.
It's free.
Do what you want.
2-1. We win.
That sounds like a yes to me. Zack doesn't respond. He just fixes his steady gaze on me.
So does this mean we're agreed to join up with Kara?
We all nod.
Hi.
The Pango sits in the middle of our circle and blinks happily.
Where do you even go when you're in hiding?
Hi, boy. Let's go tell Kara.
The boss! We turn around. Kara stands right behind Leanna, her face only inches away. Leanna lets out a startled gasp.
Gee, what is she, some kind of ninja?
Kara rubs her hands excitedly.
All right, this will be fun.
Wait, we didn't give you our answer yet.
Oh, sorry.
She steps back and gestures for Leanna to continue. Leanna speaks awkwardly. I guess she feels a little silly saying what Kara somehow already knows.
Well, we decided to take you up on your offer.
Kara nods.
Excellent. Since we're going to be working together, first things first. You all know my name, but I don't know yours.
I'm Leanna.
Mage-Knight from the guild?
She nods.
I am Amelia Estelle, a mage caster from the Mage Academy.
Kara blinks.
A student to become a mage caster? But you look just like a teenager.
Amelia cocks her head to the side.
It is natural that my physical appearance will represent my age.
She looks at Amelia with respect.
That is pretty impressive. Who's next?
She looks at Zack.
Zack.
She chuckles.
Very clearly a mercenary.
And I'm Arthur, yeah. Her green eyes study me, and although she's very clearly examining me, I don't feel uncomfortable under her stare.
Now that that's out of the way.
Boy.
Kara steps back and views the pango beneath my feet.
You have a bongo! How cute!
Yeah?
She reaches down and pats him on the head. He beams with her touch.
And what's your name?
Hi.
She glances at the rest of us, but none of us make a move to ask her.
Oh, is he not a part of your group?
He is. Sort of.
Yeah.
And you haven't named him yet?
The and I shuffle uncomfortably. Zack remains unchanged while Amelia frowns.
A Pongo is a wild creature.
Kara straightens and pats Amelia on the head, much to her dismay.
If you say so. Okay, are we ready to get going?
We should name him. We murmur our assent, and then Kara leads us to out of the city. Why are we not giving the name to Pango? As we walk, another ominous rumble sends butterflies to my stomach. I can't shake off the feeling that we are literally walking into a fire. I glance at the others who seem unfazed. I guess it's just me. Pushing my insecurities down, I silently follow the group towards the temple. Just as Elder Isim noted, the temple is a short walk out of the village on a well-worn dirt path. The road is mostly empty, with only 1 or 2 travelers coming back towards the village. The temple is an open structure with a roaring fire in the middle of a grand hall. Nice place! High columns with flames carved near them hold up the building. Adorning the stone walls are beautiful tiled mosaics. There is one wall with some strange symbols scratched on them? Which one? Ah, never mind. They are very faded and I have to squint to make it out. Squint and notice. I don't know where. From what I can make out, these 4 symbols surround the darkness in a square, with a line of fire closing the perimeter, trapping the darkness in the center. I wonder what this is. Amelia glances over, then peers at the carving.
Those symbols represent each of the magical elements.
Oh, she points to each one.
There is fire, water, earth, and wind.
Then she points to the center.
And that is shadow.
I've never considered shadow an element before.
It is one of the elemental magics.
That we know. I mean, that guy was, yeah. Karazak and Leanna have already moved on, so the rest of us hustle to catch up. Besides us, the only other people in the temple are the monks who care for it. And Pango, right? They are dressed in woven robes, red robes, in the same open and loose style as the villagers from Embermist. Quietly, they shuffle back and forth, sweeping the floor or relighting any of the smaller fires which have burned low.
Hi.
The Pango looks around in wonder and reverence. At the sight of the giant limb, he squeaks and hops up on me, claiming his spot on my shoulder. Kara bows briefly before the large flame, then leads us to the back of the chamber, and stops in front of an empty wall.
We're here.
Zack sighs. Secret passage. Maybe we made a mistake letting her join us. The choice probably doesn't matter, but I would say it's fairly obvious what to say here. The secret passage. Kara might be a little out there, but I don't get the impression that she's stupid. There must be more to the world than first meets the eye. I don't care. Is there a mechanism hidden somewhere which triggers the doorway? Kara's eyes glitter.
Bingo!
Hell yeah. With her gaze fixed on us, Kara pushes on a brick, and a segment of the wall pushes in and swings open. She waves at the opening with a flourish.
Ta-da!
How do you know which brick to push in?
It usually depends, but in this case, there's one brick that sticks out slightly more than the others. If you weren't looking for it, you won't see it.
I see how it is. And here I thought you would just be, trying to push all the bricks. She heads through the opening and pushes the wall closed behind us. Then she leads us down a winding stone stairway which ends at the beginning of a narrow passage. We file in behind her as she carefully picks her way down the hall. Ooh. It is a very plain stone hallway with wall sconces lighting the way. I look down at my feet and notice a brick with an X marked on it. It seems like a stupid idea to step on it, to be honest, so I think I will rather not doing that. Avoid it, yeah. I have a feeling this X didn't make its way onto the stone by itself. I better not touch it. Gingerly I step around the brick. A few feet away I spot another X. Okay, is anyone else seeing this random X's? Kara glances back.
I should hope so. I left those there so as not to set off the same traps again.
Makes sense, makes sense. Where's he walking? The deeper we travel, the more exits I notice. Wow, there are a lot of traps in here. Zack pauses in front of the corridor where the walls are covered in X's.
Why are there so many X's on this wall?
Kara looks down the same passageway.
Oh, it's a two-part trap.
She points to a stone on the ground with the same X marking.
Basically, if you step on the ground stone, it triggers thick bars to shoot out from all the X's in the wall and block the path.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Only if you know how to limbo. The bars have something keeping them hot and will burn you if you touch it.
Oh, wait, how do you know that? Okay, that sounds worse.
And you were able to cross that?
Kara winks.
I am very limber.
I expect Zack to brush off her comment like he brushed off every other girl, but he casually looks impressed. Impressed? What? Amelia looks between Zack and Kara.
Based on the dilation of Zack's pupils, it appears that Kara's flexibility is attractive to him.
Understandable. Zack is taken aback.
I was just thinking that it's a useful skill set to have.
Kara has a mischievous glint in her eyes.
Useful skill set to have. In what context?
Zack frowns.
For scouting and navigating. You've done a thorough job mapping this place out and marking the traps.
He got you. Leanna looks amused.
Zack, was that a compliment?
He glares at Leanna.
No, an observation.
Kara smiles playfully. I like her.
Then thank you for the observation.
Zack falls into silence before turning away. I think that's the most I've ever heard him talk in a 30-second span. We continue through the tunnels. Eventually she stops in front of another well of fire in the middle of the hall. Okay, makes sense.
The barrier's here.
She gestures at the swirling metallic wall behind the well. The way that it glitters as it wisps and curls almost looks like a fire. Leanna and Amelia step closer and tinge their hands in front of them before gingerly touching the barrier.
It's surprisingly solid for something that looks so gaseous. Maybe there's some wind magic interwoven with whatever other magic is here.
The Pango hops forward with stars in his eyes. Hey, girls. Leave it to him.
Hi.
Leave it to him. He dashes straight for the barrier.
Pongo, wait!
I stretch out my arm and race after him. Pango, no! Instead of running to a wall, the Pango passes straight through and out of sight. Why cruel word? How did he go through? Stay calm. Okay, there must be a reason why he went through somehow. Right? Should we try to stay calm? I think maybe he managed to eat on a part of the barrier, that's why he went. Let's go stay calm. For I'm curious. Even if we ask, they probably won't know, right? I doubt he died. Let's go. Whatever. We'll see. Leanna gasps and rushes to the wall.
Pongo? Oh no! What if something happens to him?
I step over and put a hand on her shoulder to calm her down. He's a scrappy and resourceful Pongo. I'm sure he'll be okay.
I suppose so.
Leanna bites her lip and stares anxiously at the barrier.
Pongo. Boy?
A blue head pops out of the barrier. What? He hops the rest of the way out.
Boy.
Leanna scoops him up in a hug.
Pongo, you're back safe. Boy.
After a second, the Pongo wiggles out her arms and rushes back over to me. Leanna pouts, then refocuses on the barrier. Amelia places both of her hands back on the barrier while Leanna holds out her manipulator.
Whatever is beyond this wall hosts a plethora of energy.
Leanna nods.
My manipulator confirms that. No wonder the Pongo ran in there.
Zack continues to hang back and observe, but Kara steps closer to the barrier.
But how did he even pass through?
He's special. Leanna shrugs. Amelia continues studying the wall, moving her hands up and down.
I do not recognize this magic.
She frowns, deeply disturbed.
Is there anything you can do to break it?
Let's see.
Leanna and Amelia both put their hands on the barrier, their manipulators glowing. They each transmit pulses of magic which disperse across the surface in a shimmering wave. I think they're trying to create stress fractures to crack the wall. After a few tries, Leanna sighs in frustration, then steps back.
Amelia, stand back.
She wordlessly obeys. Leanna gathers energy at her gauntlet, then strikes the barrier with an empowered strike. Suddenly golden lettering forms on the barrier. Absolve your world to enter mine. What does that mean? No one answers. Amelia steps forward and focuses on the well of flickering flame.
If I am interpreting this message correctly, we must part with our most precious possession, our world, and throw it in the fire.
Leanna nods thoughtfully.
Kind of like we're freeing ourselves.
Kara's face drains of color and she clutches at her pack.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We stand around awkwardly until Leanna clears her throat.
If that's what we need to do, then it seems easy enough. I'll go first.
Oh! Please let me go first. Okay, go ahead. I mean, what if someone passes through, you get teleported? I'll go first, fuck it. Wait, we're doing this for me, I should be the one to go first. Leanna blinks, but I step up to the fire before she can object. What do I choose? Wait, what do I choose what? Oh, okay, what was that on the... What was the freaking letters on the... Absolve your world to enter mine. Wallet. We might need that. Playing cards. Pongo. My waifu. What? Oh my god. Which one for? I guess I could sacrifice one of the waifus. Why not? Like the lowest tier waifu. No, I'm not sacrificing Pongo or memories or wallet. I guess wallet would not be terrible. Wow. Let's go with that. Whatever. Unfortunately, I do not have a waifu at this time. I look over at Leanna, who blinks when she meets my gaze. Yet. What? 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 I don't understand what just happened. What am I choosing here, to be fair? I'm so confused right now. Let's go. I don't know. Wallet? I fish in my pockets and grab my wallet. My entire identity is in here. My license, student ID and credit cards. The thought of parting with it makes my chest hurt. Oh, so it really is about giving up on something. And then again, I mean, he said waifu. For him, Leanna is like an actual person, so you can't really claim her as a waifu. Waifu is for 2D, and in his case, she's not 2D. So, whatever. Let's not try to go into that. That's too much science. The thought of parting with it makes my chest hurt. Reluctantly, I toss it into the fire and watch the flames lap it up. Then I steal my resolve and slowly step forward. As I cross through, I feel the tingle of energy and hear the crackle of electricity. There's a bright light blinding my vision, and I have a flashback of my crossing to Terra. My foot lands on solid ground. I pass through the barrier unharmed. Gradually, my eyes adjust to the dim light, and I see that I'm in a cozy room? Hello there! Dude, we've run into two freaking absolutely beautiful women in this game today. What is going on? In the middle of the room is a fox, who swishes its tail as it observes me. Besides a beautiful woman with flaming red hair. Her delicate hand rests at the top of the fox's head. Hello! As I look her over, her gaze lands on me. Who are you? The woman blinks at me, then smiles. Yeah, I thought that she actually started smiling here. For a second, I think I see the flames lighting the room flicker, and the warmth permanently permeates my body. It's pleasant like an embrace. Although she holds my gaze, she doesn't speak. Wait, how did you get in here? What? Again, she remains silent, but this time she takes a step closer.
Who are you talking to?
Huh? I peek behind the woman and see Zach standing with an eyebrow raised and his arms crossed. The rest of my companions pause in their inspection of the room and stare at me. Kara stands beside an altar while Amelia and Leanna are both kneeling by the fox. The fox accepts their attention, rhythmically swishing its tail, but otherwise makes no move to respond. Instead, it flies its attention on me.
Are you talking to the fox?
No! The woman between me and you, the super hot chick. I don't think I can see her. Naruto. So you don't see her. I wonder why. I don't think she's between them, right? So that kind of does. Wait, maybe they can see her, but he's the only one who can't. Or fuck it. Clearly, I was speaking to the smoking hot woman in the room.
You mean her?
You mean her?
The two of them speak simultaneously, then stare at each other.
That was unexpected, but not unwelcome.
Leanna blushes deeply while Kara smirks, and they catch both of them occasionally glancing at each other. Oi!
Who exactly are you seeing?
Well, there's a woman dressed in red, and she's kind of flamey, and she's standing right there with her pet fire fox. Leanna looks towards the fox, but her eyes glaze right over the woman. She furrows her brows, concerned.
Okay.
Her voice is gentle, like she doesn't want to spook me. Wait, none of you girls and guys can see her? The group collectively shakes their heads. Well, I don't know why you can't see her, but I promise you she's there.
Boy.
Pango, you can see her! At least one person is on my side. The Pango hops out from behind my legs. He first examines the woman with partial interest, then he stares in wonder at the fox. The fox cocks his head to the side and observes the Pango. The Pango perks up and cautiously bounces forward. He pauses right before the fox. The fox nose wiggles as it sniffs at the pango. Then it swishes its tail and the pango squeaks before running back behind my legs.
Boy,
Wait, do you see her too?
boy.
The woman giggles at the pango and gently pats his head. He shivers happily at her touch. Then she straightens up and takes a step closer. Her feet don't touch the ground and her skirt floats ethereally behind her. Instinctively, I back away.
What's going on?
She's getting closer, a lot closer. She pauses once she draws near and touches her palm to my forehead. A pulse of warmth flows through me before she retracts her hand. As if something inside me clicked open, I feel invigorated with restored strength. The stronger I feel, the more translucent the woman becomes. Soon she disappears. Wait, have we become one? The pango stares at me with renewed interest. It reminds me of that same look he gave me when we first met. He licks his lips. Oh, don't even think about it! The pango pouts and lets out a sad sigh. Kara waves her hands in front of my face.
Hey, are you okay? You kind of zoned out there for a second.
I think I'm fine.
What happened?
I'm not too sure.
Where's the woman now?
Actually she's gone. Amelia reacts to my words by playing with her bracelets. She holds her manipulator up to me.
Curious. I may have a theory.
What is it?
All the energy which had accumulated here has now gathered within you.
I blink as it takes me a minute to register what she just said. Wait, I observed the energy. That can't be right.
As I mentioned, it is merely a theory.
Leanna looks intrigued.
How is that possible?
Oh.
I was chosen by the cats!
And hot ones at that. I mean, at least one of them is hot. So I don't know. I felt it after she touched me. Leanna's eyes widen.
I wouldn't phrase it like that.
Only you thought it like that. Not in a weird way. She just touched my forehead and suddenly I felt a rush of energy. Amelia stares hard at me. Why are you looking at me like that?
I am merely anticipating the imminent reaction.
Reaction to what?
The high concentration of energy you just absorbed. The human body was not meant to process such large quantities of energy.
I'm built different.
At least, that has certainly been the trend with someone from Terra.
Emilia's gaze bursts into me as she emphasizes the word Terra. Then she looks back down at her manipulator.
Although, 2 minutes have passed, and there seems to be no sign of an adverse reaction.
I told you I'm built different. Why does she sound so disappointed? Suddenly Kara squeals as she gingerly picks a rusty coin out of the remains of a leather satchel.
This is a genuine Vestin coin!
Zack glances at the coin and folds his arms, clearly unimpressed.
How much could a rusted out dated coin be worth?
About a few hundred gold pieces.
She got you good, huh? Zack, the demeanor instantly changes.
You don't say.
Time to stop being a mercenary, huh? Kara smoothly pockets the satchel as Zack covertly searches the room. As Kara finishes up her inspection of the room, Leanna looks around.
Well, since we found what we came for, we should head back.
Wait, have we found what we came for? Kara nods and leads the way out. As we leave the room, we notice the fire which had previously glowed in front of the barrier is now gone, but all of our items are still intact. Hey, nothing was burnt in here.
Curious. Then it can be assumed that the purpose of this trial was not to destroy our possessions, but to test our willingness to sacrifice.
Kara happily scoops out her coin purse.
I'm not complaining.
Leanna smiles in relief as she reaches in and quickly collects what looks like a ring attached to a thin chain.
Let's keep going.
The rest of us snatch up our items and continue back out of the corridor. Nice. The trek out of the temple is a lot faster and easier than the trek in, mostly because there were no more obstacles to stop us. We pop out of the same hidden wall in which we entered. Just before the main ceremonial hall is empty, we wave goodbye to the couple of monks sweeping the entryway, then begin the walk back to the village. Nice. Ask Kara who the Vestans were. Ask Amelia what her theory about the mysterious woman is. I don't really feel like talking. You know what? I feel like talking. This game is too good. Wow, this game is too good. Kara first. I fell in step with Kara.
So, who exactly were the Vestans?
They were the original tribe of Ember Mist, and the initial keepers of the Fire Temple.
Did they build the temple? Kara shrugs.
It depends on who you ask. Some experts believe they did. Others think the temple was already there by the time the Vestans came about.
Interesting. Now I'm curious. How did you get into treasure hunting? She paused just a little too long before flashing me her usual cheerful grin.
I just sort of fell into it, honestly. Treasure hunting naturally fit into my nomadic lifestyle.
Where'd you learn all the history to even identify relics?
You'd be surprised how much you pick up along the way, especially after you realize what a lucrative business this can be.
So you're just in it for the money.
I didn't say that. I'll admit that at first I was just in it for the money. But the more I learned about the ancient people of Asaria, the more invested I became in the history of each relic I found.
Nice.
I started to find myself daydreaming about who might have used the items I found. What kind of person were they? Did they cherish this item, or was it just another piece of their ever-growing collection of stuff?
That's a cool way of thinking. You're more than meets the eye. That seems like a foolish way of thinking. That's a cool way of thinking, yeah. I never thought about it like that before. Maybe if I had, I would have paid more attention in history class. In Poland, no. They bore you to death with how they lead the lessons, unfortunately. But yeah, I bet if someone was able to give you the knowledge about history in an interesting way, it would be awesome. I liked history. I didn't like the way people would teach about it. Anyway, Carl looks at me strangely.
Are you a treasure hunter too?
Huh? No?
But you sought out experts dedicated to history?
Something like that. It was less me seeking it out and more of a requirement I had to fulfill, yeah. Carl looks skeptical but doesn't pry. Ask Amelia about the theory. Approach Amelia. Why is there no Leanna option? So the theory that you mentioned in the temple about the woman, what was it? Amelia glanced at me.
Given the location and circumstances previously described by Elderism, my estimation is that the unknown woman you encountered was a projected image of the fire elemental. Of course, as I could not observe her myself, I cannot be certain.
Let's go. Do you think that's why she wouldn't talk back? Also, why wouldn't she just show up in person?
The amount of energy needed to sustain just an appearance of the elemental would have drained the temple completely. There would have been no energy left for her to give to you.
Is that why she disappeared right after?
The depletion of energy in the temple would have meant she'd no longer be sustained in this world.
Amelia looks thoughtful.
Although, it is quite unusual that she would have you absorb the energy to begin with.
How so? I see. I had a feeling that was her. No wonder she was so hot! She actually exists! I mean, she was extremely attractive, that's for sure. I mean, it was kinda what I thought she might be, the goddess or whatever. Or elemental aspect, or... first one was, I had a sneaking suspicion that was her. I mean, who else could it have been? Amelia nods.
It pleases me that you too have reached the same conclusion.
Thanks? She looks thoughtful.
Still, it is quite perplexing that she would only reveal herself to you.
Wouldn't it require more magic to, you know, show herself to everyone? Just saying. Anyway, it's not just me. The Pango saw her too. I think. He didn't really make it clear if he was seeing her or just the fox thing.
The Guardian.
Huh?
The fox would be the guardian of the fire temple. Each temple has its own guardian who protects it.
Ah. Oh, so how come the Guardian attacked us for breaking into the temple?
We did not break in. The guardian enforces the trial in the temple. Only those who are able to complete the trials are welcome into the temple.
Hmm. In this case, that magical fire, we had to put our stuff in... Amelia nods, still deep in thought. Are you still trying to figure out why no one else could see the elemental? She nods again. Any theories?
As of now, I do not have one. But perhaps after some further research...
Her voice tries off as she falls back into the deep thought. Karazak and Amelia lead the way back to Ember Mist, while I lag behind. The pango sits on my head. Leanna notices my absence and falls into step with me. She passes the pango, who ignores her. Still focused on the energy around me. Leanna pouts, then shakes away the pango's disregardance of her and focuses her attention on me.
Something on your mind?
I drop my voice low so the others can hear me.
Now that I've collected the energy from the temple, that means that I can try to create the temporal rift and go back home, right?
Kara stops, then wheels around to face us. Zack and Emilia stop her.
Pardon me, you were speaking very softly and it was a little hard to hear, but it sounded like you just said you need to open a temporal rift to go back home.
She heard it.
But that can't be right, can it?
Ah, gee, this woman has got some supersonic hearing. I glance at Leanna, who looks alarmed. About that. Kara's smile falters at my stance, but Amelia looks excited.
I knew it. My hypothesis is correct.
Hypothesis? What hypothesis?
My hypothesis that he is from a parallel world.
Oh boy. Leanna's eyes grow wide and she forces a panicked smile.
I think all this parallel world and temporal rift talk has been getting to you. I mean, Elder Isum said it's impossible.
He has already admitted it.
What? Leanna, I have been careful not to say anything. My dog is barking right now for some reason and it's annoying! Thank you. No! Alright. What? He's doing this on purpose when I start talking. What the hell? Oi! He's on the other room and I'm too lazy to get up right now, but I will have to. Or maybe I will not. What? Leah and I have been careful not to say anything. When?
The day of our acquaintance.
Huh? I rock my brain but don't remember bringing that up around Amelia.
You sought out Professor Xavier's guidance, and after he imparted his advice, you and Leanna had a brief discussion in which you mentioned that what he had suggested was exactly what happened to you. Thus began my hypothesis that you arrived from a parallel world.
Leanna looks at me, unsure how to react. Well, that's quite problematic, isn't it? Fine. You know what? Let's come clean up that. I guess there is no point denying it now. If our game of cheat is any indication, Amelia can see right through a lie. You're right. I'm not from Terra.
Not from Terra, huh?
Zack looks me up and down and nods to himself.
That's a lot better than the alternative.
What do you mean? What's the alternative?
That you might be... unique.
What do you mean? What? What do you mean? He shrugs.
He didn't even know what a discharger was. At least if he's from another world, that explains why he didn't know these things.
Thank you, I guess. Carol looks skeptical.
How did he get here?
There have been unexplainably high concentrations of energy popping up throughout Isaria, and he happened to show up at one of those areas. We went to the Mage Academy to get some answers, and that's how we came up with the possibility that the high energy readings were temporal rifts, and somehow he had traveled through one. Why or how those rifts were even opened, we still don't know.
But if they're the only way for me to get back home, then I have to try to open one, right? Kara shrugs.
Let's just make sure you attempt to open one far away from where I'm standing.
That might be tricky considering no one knows how to open one. We may need to talk to Elder Issam.
That won't be necessary. I know how to do so already.
Say what? We all stare at her. How do you know that?
The directions are located in Elder Issam's old research notes, which I had gathered from the Academy. The spell itself is a simple conjuration, which even an amateur could do.
An amateur can open a temporal rift. Then why isn't everyone doing it?
The impossibility of the spell comes from the fact that the human body cannot manipulate the amount of energy needed for it.
Yeah. She poses then points to me.
He may be an exception.
I squirm slightly as their gazes fall on me. Oh.
Given that you have absorbed energy directly from the temple, which should also be an impossibility, I must assume that there is something within you which can possess the high amount of magic without suffering consequences. Perhaps it is a skill which you acquired from your world.
What? My world doesn't have magic. I'll meet you up, Lynx.
Regardless, only a short amount of time has passed. There is plenty of time for you to still internally combust.
Dude, what if we actually have magic, but we don't know how to use it at all? And you know, we get transported to some different world and we are like a god level, basically. That would be nuts. Probably impossible, but still. A wave of unease makes my stomach queasy. Maybe I should open up the rift now before this has a chance to happen. Amelia grins with excitement.
I concur with that suggestion.
That may be the best now that you have the magic.
Zack shrugs and Kara takes a look at our open surroundings.
Maybe we should first look for a spot with a bit more cover. We don't want to be opening up rifts on an open pathway.
Good point.
I thought that you wanted to stay away.
There was some tree cover towards the west.
We mumble our affirmations and follow Zack towards the trees. Which turns out to be the Forest of Sorrow. No. We settle into the grove of trees. Both Leanna and Amelia stand on either side of me. Zack selects a tree far enough to not be affected by any stray magic, but close enough to get a good view of what's going on. Kara, on the other hand, hangs back towards the outskirts of the trees. Zack looks back at her, and an amused smile on his lips.
You'll miss the show from back there. You sure you don't want to come any closer?
Kara's voice is distant.
Yep.
There's a bit of movement as she takes another step back and behind the tree. Is she okay? Scoot yourself closer to her. Leave her be. I mean, that might piss her off. Is she okay? Are you sure you're okay back there?
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just keeping watch.
Okay. Making sure no one accidentally stumbles upon us.
Something like that.
Sure. Amelia studies the notes, then nods to herself and snaps the book shut.
The casting is quite simple. It is the same technique as any other cast.
Right. I have never cast it, so... Leanna looks at me.
Are you ready?
No. I nod. Amelia glanced at my stance, then froze.
Your stance is incorrect. Straighten your spine.
Alright. I lengthen my spine and stand as straight as I can.
Now you are too tense. Keep yourself relaxed, but do not slump.
I mean, I feel pretty relaxed, to be honest. Okay. I release some of the tension in my back. She's about to speak again, but Leanna gently pulls Amelia to the side.
Okay, I think he gets it.
She steps around me and gives me an encouraging smile.
Your stance is fine. Just remember to raise your arms in front of you.
What? I do as she says, as she nods.
Now, the actual casting part is gonna sound tricky. You'll need to focus your mind on the spell you want to cast.
So I should just think about the temporal rift? Or?
Yes, but you need to connect that thought with the magical energy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Clear your mind of every thought.
Oh my, yeah, that's so easy. I close my eyes and push away all of my doubts and confusion and focus on Leanna's voice.
Now, think about the rift that you wish to create.
I imagine tearing a hole in the fabric of reality. I don't actually know what a rift would look like or feel like. All I remember is the bright light. Should I focus on that light?
At the same time, sense for the magic within you.
I try to sense for any kind of magic, but nothing feels out of the ordinary. How do I know what the magic is?
It'll feel like a tendril or willing warmth. When you find it, reach out for it and grab hold. The magic is eager to be used and will latch on.
Focus on what Leanna says. I wish one were more like my magic. What? That's so stupid. That's so stupid. No, it's me who's stupid. Or something like that. I don't know, focus on what she says. This is so abstract, but I know I can do it. I just have to focus. I turn within and regulate my breathing. This sounds very similar to meditation, so perhaps using the same technique will yield a success. As my breathing becomes slow and steady, I open up my senses for any indication of another presence.
Once you find the magic, connect your thoughts of the rift with the magic, and then channel both the magic and the thoughts through your hands to cast it in the open.
I continue sensing, hoping to find even a hint of warmth. But how do I know if it's just my own warmth or the magic? Sweat beds on my temples. I strain to cast, but nothing happens. Eventually my arms grow weary and my mind is exhausted. I decompress with a sigh. It didn't work.
It's okay, we can try again. People aren't usually able to cast on their first try.
I mentally groan. The idea of doing all of that again does not thrill me. There must be still something I'm missing.
It just takes some getting used to. Plus, you're trying to cast without a manipulator.
Yeah, both you and Amelia use that, huh? Maybe that's why I wasn't able to do it.
Well, the manipulator's function is to house the energy source for us to cast with. Technically, because you already have the energy within you, you shouldn't need a manipulator.
Makes sense. Oh!
But this is all theory anyway. It may be easier trying to cast using a crystal, especially for a first-time caster.
Regardless, there could be a multitude of factors for why this attempt was not successful. One for which could be as simple as the fact that you still did not possess enough energy to open the rift.
Shouldn't the temple have had enough?
Theoretically, perhaps, but a significant portion of the energy was already being used to sustain the elemental's image. She was able to transfer what was left of the energy to you, which from my readings was only 20% of the total energy in the temple when we started.
Suddenly Kara is standing right beside us, as cheerful as ever.
That sounds like you all still need to explore some more temples.
Meh. I jump at her presence. Even Leanna and Amelia seem surprised to see her so close. Only Zack is unaffected. How did you get here so fast? She grins at me.
Am I wrong?
The Pango jumps out of Kara's arms and hops into mine.
Boy!
I pat him on the head and he wiggles contentedly, licking the air around me.
So it could be that he doesn't know how to cast, or that he doesn't have enough energy.
Sure, but what does that mean for you all in terms of next steps? Are you going to hang out in Ember Mist until he learns how to cast?
It could take him weeks before he can even cast the simplest of spells. That is quite a long time to rely on someone else's hospitality.
Thanks for not believing in me.
It sounds like it would still be in your best interest to visit at least one more temple just to be sure you have enough energy. You can teach him how to cast on the way, so by the time he gets there, he'll be ready to go.
Leanna looks thoughtful.
That does seem like the better option than the alternative.
Yeah. If it's the fastest way to get me back home, then I'm not opposed to having all our bases covered. Amelia nods.
That is the most efficient course of action. If we can mitigate any uncertain factors, then we can pinpoint where the weakness is and adjust accordingly for a successful cast. The research this will provide will be very informative.
Hearing Amelia's affirmation, Zack shrugs.
Since I'm here to protect Amelia, I go where she goes.
Kara smiles broadly and slings her arms around Zack and Amelia, much to their dismay.
Great. Then our arrangement is still on.
I wish it was me.
Hey!
Zack moves out of Kara's grasp. She smirks.
Most men would be thrilled to have a pretty woman hug them. Right, Amelia?
Yeah?
That is correct. The healthy physique is inherently attractive for potential mates.
Yeah? Kara lets go and starts to lead the way out of the forest.
We should spend the night in Ember Mist. We can plan our next steps there.
She's great. Once we are in agreement, we follow Kara back to Ember Mist. Upon arriving, we head to the inn.
We can spend the night here. I'll meet you back down in the lobby in a few minutes.
This is the inn. She ventures upstairs while we secure 2 rooms with the innkeeper. As we receive our keys, Amelia excuses herself.
I wish to seek an audience with Elder Ism and continue our discussion. I would be remiss to let such an opportunity pass.
He seems like a good guy, but maybe we keep the fact that I'm not from here a secret.
Yes, that is something in which we are in agreement.
Okay. She nods and leaves the inn. Meanwhile, I got a text message that I got some kind of discount code on my account for electronics. Well, I don't have money for that, sorry. And it's not like I could buy something that I could upgrade the PC with, really. The decor of the inn is very similar to Elder Ism's hut. Pillows and rugs line the ground as a few people sit cross-legged in front of the fire. A few tables line the other side of the lobby, all of which are empty. In fact, aside from the couple of people chatting by the fire, this place is very empty. Once I sit down, I feel the fatigue pass over me, but I try to shake it off. I guess they don't see too many visitors here.
For a city that's supposed to be so secret, that's not surprising. It's more surprising that they have an inn.
I nod and stifle a yawn. We sit at the table as Zack orders us dinner. After a few minutes, Kara returns.
Where's Amelia?
And she decided to go back. She went to speak with Elder Ism. She nods. My eyelids drop and I'm stifling yawns every few minutes. My limbs feel like heat waves and it's taking all of my effort to sit upright. After I let out a wide yell, Leanna glanced over at me.
Maybe you should go to bed. We're winding down anyway, so it'd be a good idea to get some rest.
I nod blurrily. That sounds really good right now. I guess absorbing all that energy really takes it out of you, huh? Leanna smiles at my joke.
It would seem so.
Regardless, I'm grateful for the excuse to leave. I trot upstairs and fumble with the key before opening the door. Then I fall into one of the twin cots and pass out as soon as my head hits the pillow. Which might have been Pango, but right now I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell. But what I'm sure about, it's time to end the episode. It's been a lengthy one. Almost an hour 30 minutes. I assume with the way I'm talking right now, it will actually cross that time as well. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, like the video, it would be very much appreciated. You can tell me what did you think about, first of all, our new companion Kara. She's absolutely attractive. I feel I personally would be more attracted to her than Leanna, which of course doesn't cancel out my attractiveness, me being attracted to Leanna still, but I think Kara wins in this case. And the fire elemental, she was damn attractive too. I hope. You can tell me if you think the same. Yeah. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. That would be very much appreciated as we are slowly crawling to that 2000 mark. And there's also Twitter, Instagram, Twitch to which you can go if you want. And that's it. Let's end it. We'll continue tomorrow. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.